Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another new vlog. My co-host tonight. Can you see that clear? This is my co-host, and let's just call her Brownie. And Brownie, this is a sketch. This is a limited edition sketch, actually, and it's done by Kath Stroman here on Vancouver Island. Isn't that lovely? I haven't framed it yet, but Brownie is going to get framed. Look at those gorgeous eyes. Oh my goodness. What a winner. Now, I don't have room to set Brownie up beside me here tonight. You see, because you just can't see her. I'll show her again before the show's over. Listen to me. Show. It's a vlog. Okay. Now, tonight's vlog, we got a few things we have to cover, and we got to get to it really quickly. First of all, when I watched the vlog last night, because if you watch yourself, you learn things, right? So if you just vlog it, record it, and don't look at it, how are you going to get any better, right? Well, of course, some cruel friends say things to you, but besides cruel friends who think they're doing well, they think they're doing good. No, they are, really. I don't mind a few comments. Never mind, I'm not going any further with that. But I was looking at the closed captioning last night, and can you believe it, on this YouTube channel, that closed captioning works like this. I don't know how it does it so fast. It prints it across the bottom of your screen. So you can go down here somewhere down here, and you can hit CC, and it will print out what I'm saying, or as best as possible. For instance, last night I was talking about Moderna, because I had the Moderna shot. So one time it spelt it modern. I actually said Moderna. It spelt modern. I don't know what it's doing down here tonight. And then the other time it went a little bit farther and said modernity. No, it's Moderna. Modernity, modern. Closed captioning. But you still have to admit it's pretty good. The other thing it did, when I mentioned my website and one of my radio stations, Swish, SWISSSH, now I will probably print that out, but it's SWISSSH.ca. It wasn't close. My other radio station is called Starlight, Music for Life, STARLITE. Those are the correct spellings. But you do need the correct spelling to get to the website, www.swisssh.ca. 3 S's in there. Sometime I'll tell you why, if I haven't already. So be aware of that. Secondly, bonjour, comment ça va? Ça va? Ça va bien, merci. I took a little tour of Paris. It's been 3 or 4 years since we got to Paris. COVID is the blame for the last 2 of them. But it was this wonderful Paris walk. And I wrote a note down here. I think if you go onto YouTube and search daily live streaming in Paris and pick the December 14th date, it's about 2 hours and 35 minutes long. It is a wonderful walking video through a lot of Paris that I know very well. And it was just wonderful. In high depth, it really is a great video. So take a look at that. And they show you some wonderful Paris buildings and, you know, these huge cathedrals and churches. And I got to thinking as I watched it. Now, you can write this down because I had to write it down right here, so I'll remember it. Religion in Paris is an art form. Religion, not religious. Religion in Paris is an art form. I wrote that down right here. That's me. There are some glorious buildings in Paris, really. So take that little walking tour and enjoy it. If you've never been to Paris, you'll see Notre Dame, you'll see the Louvre, you'll see department stores in Galerie Lafayette, and you will see Au Printemps, which is a huge department store as well as little cafes and such, and cafes that actually we visited. So it was kind of neat to see that. So give a little look at that. It'll be a little trip away to Paris, 2 hours and 35 minutes, and except for not being able to smell it, all the sounds are there. You'll see the people, you'll see the buildings, the sounds, Notre Dame as it's being rebuilt. You'll see the big board across the front. billboard, whatever, a fence that stop people from going in. But you'll see a few things like that in the River Seine. It's lovely. So do take a little look at that. And feel like you've been in Paris for this holiday season, no? Oui. Now, the other thing I want to do, because it's been a couple of vlogs, I want to read a little bit more from A Christmas Carol. This is a wonderful little Christmas Carol book. Now, it's going to be upside down and backwards for you and whatever. Anyways, it is Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. And I just thought tonight that I would read a little bit more from A Christmas Carol. So, let me just read a couple of short little pages. They're not very much. And get you in the Christmas spirit with that old Scrooge. What a cold-hearted thingamajigger he was. Anyways, he's sitting in his counting house, counting all his money, and his clerk is sitting in another office with one little piece of coal burning in the fireplace, in the grate. Terrible, terrible man. Anyways, the door of Scrooge's counting house was open, and Scrooge had a very, very, very small fire. But the clerk's fire was so much smaller that it looked like it just had one coal in it. Oh, he was a cruel, cold man. But the clerk couldn't replenish it, for Scrooge kept the coal box in his own room. And so surely as the clerk came in, the clerk, you can say clerk as well as clerk, came in with the shovel, well, the master predicted that it would be necessary for them to part. Wherefore the clerk put on his white comforter, because he didn't have enough money for a coat. You know that. Poor Bob Cratchit. And he tried to warm himself at a little candle, but there wasn't much heat coming from that. Now, he was not a man of strong imagination, so Bob Cratchit failed. And then all of a sudden, this voice said, "A Merry Christmas, Uncle, God save you." It was a cheerful voice. It was the voice of Scrooge's nephew. Sounds like a really nice guy, you know, who came upon him so quickly that this was the first intimation that Scrooge had of his approach. Bah! He always said bah. And he also said humbug. And that's exactly what he said at this point in time. Well, he had so heated himself with rapid walking and all that fog and frost that the nephew of Scrooge, he was all aglow. Because he had been walking briskly down through the streets. So he was just all aglow. His face was ruddy, and apparently his face was handsome too. His eyes sparkled, and his breath smoked. Well, because it was so freaking cold in Scrooge's office. "Christmas a humbug, Uncle," said Scrooge's nephew. "You don't mean that, I am sure." "Oh, I do," said Scrooge. "Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough." "Well, don't hold back, Scrooge." "Come then," returned the nephew gaily. "Ooh," was he now? "What right have you to be dismal? What right have you to be merry?" "Well, I have a lot of right to be merry." This is what Scrooge, his nephew, was trying to get to, but he said to Scrooge, "Why do you have to be so morose? You're rich enough." And Scrooge, having no better answer ready on the spur of the moment, he just said, "Bah, humbug," again. Bah, humbug. He followed it up with another humbug. And that's what he did. Humbug. "Oh, don't be cross, Uncle," said the nephew. "Well, what else can I be?" said Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge. "When I live in a world with fools such as this. Merry Christmas. Well, out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without any money, a time for finding yourself 1 year older," well, he's got a point there, "but not an hour richer. A time for balancing your books and having every item in them through a round dozen of months presented dead against you." "If I could work my will," said Scrooge, "every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on their heart, on their lips, Merry Christmas beaming from wherever, they should be boiled in oil with their own pudding, and buried with a stake of holly through their hearts." Oh, well, Ebenezer, I mean, don't hold back or anything. Let us know how you really feel, you crotchety old bugger. Oh, uncle, pleaded the nephew. Nephew, returned the uncle sternly, keep Christmas in your way, and I will keep it in mine. Oh, keep it, said the nephew. But you don't keep it. Well, said Scrooge, with hardly a smile on his face. In fact, there was no smile on his face at all. Let me have it alone, then. Much good it may do you. Much good has it ever done you. Well, the nephew smiled again. His ruddy cheeks. He looked kind of pretty, actually, in the dull light of Scrooge's office. And he said to his uncle, I believe it has done me good, and will, underline will do me good. And I say, God bless it. Well, Bob Cratchit, sitting over in the next office, he practically applauded. He did make some little sounds like he was happy with what the nephew was saying to Scrooge. And then Scrooge said to Bob Cratchit, let me hear another sound from you, Bob Cratchit, and you'll keep Christmas by losing your situation. Ah, gosh, what a nasty, crumbly, craggy, nasty old man. That was our Scrooge. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in some of the next readings. I really am. I'm excited. Anyhow, that's going to be it for this vlog. Once again, Brownie. Oh, isn't she pretty? Look at her there. She is so pretty. That's Brownie. Kath Stroman is the artist here on Vancouver Island. This is hers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful holiday season. Enjoy every day. Even if you have to work or do something you don't want to do, try to take a little bit of the joy and the merriment and enjoy the people and enjoy the shopping and the crowds and the busyness, and try to be aware of that COVID-19, but also try to be jolly, even though it's there in our lives every day. So, until we see you next time, be jolly, be good to one another. We'll soon.